Hey, guys. Alex Pelzer here, the voice coach. I am so super excited. Your voice manager. Yes, I unmute the voice of women all over who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. We have been doing the Repositioned for Success series for the last 2 weeks, y'all. Last week and now this week. Last week and then this week. And so I'm excited. Good morning. I hope you guys are ready. Those of you who are looking and you're like, well, wait, I didn't see you live yesterday. On Mondays, I go live in the World Voice League group, bit.ly/World Voice Community. It's free Facebook group. I go live in the group. I don't go live on the page. And then for the rest of the week, I go live on the page. So yesterday's message is in the group. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. The replay is still up. I'll leave the replay up until at least the end of the week, and then I take it down because it's over on YouTube as well. So, Reposition for Success. How many of y'all have been catching the whole series? How many of you have been listening in? This has been a crazy, woo, man, bananas type series. And it's interesting because I had people who, oh man, people who were sending me messages about different things yesterday, and people who were asking me different questions about stuff. And I always look at things differently than what most people look at it, right? That's probably why they call me unicorn, because I think different. I see things differently. I respond differently than what most people would respond. And so I look at things as it's not a no, it's not a closed door, it's not a lost opportunity. I look at things as saying, okay, that's one door that closed. How many of you understand that there's so many other doors in the hallway? And even when there's not another open door, that you have the ability to create a door when there isn't one. I don't know if y'all ready this morning. How many of you understand that there is a door that you can create if there isn't one that's already there? And so don't get stuck pulling on a door that is closed. Don't get stuck in banging on a door that is closed. Don't get stuck on a door that was shut in your face. I don't know who this is going to be for this morning, but I know it's going to help somebody. I know it's going to support somebody. So make sure that you tell somebody about this and let them know, because they're going to need this. There's a moment where you come into alignment with understanding that if I believe wholeheartedly Jeremiah 29:11, then he has plans for me, plans for my good. And so no matter what door shut, no matter what opportunity went away, God has a plan for my good. Oh, y'all, this is a whole nother level when it comes to being repositioned for success, because now you can't make me upset. You can't make me angry. And even if I get angry or frustrated, it is only short-lived, because I know that there's something on the other side that's greater than where I am. Oh, I've been in the word all I've been overdosing on the word the last 2 weeks, because I want to make sure that when we go through and finish out this series of being repositioned for success, I want to make sure that it's not a repositioning that is short-lived. It's not a repositioning that is temporary, because a temporary repositioning will give you that momentary high. But a repositioning that I want to make sure that you guys get from this series is literally going to shift you for years to come. See, I get it that there's people that want to come and motivate you, and they want you to be excited in the moment, right? Lift your hands, praise them. That's good and well, but I don't want you just to be excited in the moment. I don't want you to be excited in the moment, because guess what? In this moment, you may not be dealing with a door that's closed. Okay, I don't know if y'all heard me. In this moment, you may not be dealing with a door that is closed. In this moment, All the doors may be open in this moment. All the lights may be green in this moment. Everything may be coming up roses in this moment. Everything might be shining and glowing and working for you. But this moment is not every moment. And in the moment when a door closes, that's when I want this to pop up in your spirit. See, being repositioned for success is not just about what's going on right here and now. Being repositioned for success is about what's coming later. See, I'm always in a space of repositioning. I'm always in a mindset of being repositioned, because if I'm repositioned for success, then it doesn't matter what happens 2 years from now, I'll know how to bounce back. Come on. I'm preparing myself for bounce backs. I'm preparing myself for comebacks. I'm preparing myself for something greater. And so while somebody else may be looking and saying, well, I'm not dealing with a closed door right now. My business is doing well. Well, your business is doing well. But can I tell you that in the last 2 weeks, I've seen several businesses close their doors that were flourishing. Several. And it's in that moment that you have to understand that there is always still another door. Can I tell you something? Home Depot is full of doors. Somebody look at you. Look, we're gonna go old school. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, Home Depot is full of doors. Home Depot is full of doors. I need you to understand. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, I can get whatever kind of door I want. I can create whatever kind of door I want. And so it's interesting because we've listened to, Tyler Perry has said it, Ava DuVernay has said it, talking about creating your own door or creating your own table. And it's not an easy thing to think about, because in the midst of creating your own table, it doesn't feel comfortable. In the midst of time of creating your own opportunities, it doesn't feel good, because there are people who talk about you. There are people who downplay what you're doing. There are people who will do all types of things. There will be some instances where situations work well and others where it does not. And in all of that moment, in all of that that's coming up and around you, you have to still be able to say, I can still create a door. I can still move forward. This is just a moment, and I have to learn from this moment and then take something and move even greater forward. I've witnessed it. I've listened to it. I've had people come and ask me questions about it. And it's the thing of, is my mindset had to change. And so literally 2 years ago, last year, y'all know, well, 2018 was when I said the prayer over my business, asking God to be the CEO of my business and my brand. And from that point of me saying that in September-ish, I think I want to say August, September of 2018 until now, I've seen doors slam in my face. I've seen people walk away. I've seen all types of things happen, but I've not been in a moment where there wasn't another door. Did y'all catch that? I'm sorry, let me pull out the biblical term, the biblical sense for it. The biblical is, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. I'm sorry, did you catch it? So in 2018, when I asked him to lead, it was okay. I seen in the natural, I seen doors close left and right, doors just closing. It felt like in moments where as soon as I went to step towards the door, it would close. But another opportunity was always opening up. And my word says, okay, Jeremiah 29:11 says, what? And then my word says, what else? I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Listen, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I listen. So the things that we're thinking has come to us as a surprise. It's not a surprise for him. He says, just keep pushing, just keep going. And so literally, I was like, yesterday was a bit of a interesting time because I was actually able to come back and start doing some work after last weekend. I mean, after the weekend, and 'cause my team had literally said, we need you to rest. And even in that instance, it was interesting because I understood why I needed to rest. I understood why I needed to just sit down with some time with me and my family. And if you don't understand, then you need to go look at the message from yesterday. It's in the group. But I understood why I needed to sit down and rest. And it was crazy because when I came back with a different mindset. See, sometimes in order for you to be able to create a new door, you have to spend some time away from the hallway that you've gotten so comfortable in standing in. Sometimes when it's time to create a new door, you got to come away from the doors that you've been banging on and jiggling the knob. Sometimes you got to come away from that space in order for you to realize that's not the only doors. That's not the only ones. And sometimes you've been banging on doors that were not meant for you. Sometimes you've been banging on doors that on the other side of the door would be your demise. Sometimes you've been jiggling on handles and holding tight to something that was not meant for you and could poison your purpose. And so I had to learn to step away. And in stepping away, I had to just take some time with me. I had to rest. I had to rest my mind. I had to rest my body. I had to rest my space. I had to just sit. And so I did things with my children and we watched movies. That's one of my resting things. I don't know what you do in your downtime with your family to rest, but that's one of my rest things is we go and we watch old school movies or we watch cartoons or all types of stuff. Some are newer movies. We ended up watching like Mary Poppins, the second one. I forgot what it's called. I didn't even know they had a second Mary Poppins. Don't judge my lifestyle. I usually find things out when it's on Netflix. Don't judge me. But it was interesting because I came back and I said, wow, the doors that you have been creating for other people to be able to walk through, even in instances you've had to close those doors because they were not meant for everybody. Y'all gonna catch this real quick. Even the doors that you had created, some of those doors, and this going hurt for somebody. Some of those doors that you created were created out of a poverty mindset. Oof. They were not created out of purpose. Y'all better catch this. Have you ever seen a movie where someone opened a door and there was a brick wall on the other side? Some of you, because you're not in the right space, because you have not taken that time to go and rest, you've created a door and the door opens to a brick wall, meaning that you have created a door with no opportunity. You've created a door that will not service you or anyone that's attached to you. You've created a door that does not give you a way out or a way in. And so you've wasted time creating a door that does not live up to its function. Some of you, and that is going to hurt because some of you, that is the business that you've created. And you've been doing it for so long because you've been doing it out of habit. But when you open the door, it's a brick wall. There's no progress to be made because you can't walk into anything or walk out of anything through the door that you created. And some of you, that's why you've been struggling in your business because you created this door that leads nowhere. Y'all better, I don't know if y'all hear me this morning. I don't know if y'all with me this morning. Hey Periscope, hey Facebook, how you doing? Hey YouTube, how you doing? I don't know if y'all with me this morning. But if you literally have been in previous years looking at your business, looking at your things and saying, I'm not seeing progress, I'm not seeing forward motion, I'm not seeing any growth. And why am I not seeing any growth? It's because sometimes the door that you've created is one that does not lead to progress, it does not lead to growth, it does not lead anywhere. It is just there for show. Make today the day that you say that I'm no longer creating doors just for show. Because can I tell y'all something? Even even the doors that are created and sold at Home Depot are not just for show. They're for somebody else to come and buy it. Oh, y'all better catch that. I hope you caught it. Even the doors that are created at home, created and sold at Home Depot, they are not created just for show. They're created because there is somebody that needs that door. So are you creating something that somebody needs? Or are you creating something just for show? Just to be able to say that you made $10,000 in a weekend, just to be able to say that you made six figures. Was that your purpose? Was that the call on you? And when you had decided you were going to create this door, because what ends up happening is there's nothing afterwards. How many of you have dealt with that? Matter of fact, I won't even let you tell your business. I won't tell your business. I'll just tell mine. I know that for time and time again, I was going and I was creating services and I was creating products and I was creating courses that people would trickle in, and a few people would buy it here and a few people would buy it there. And literally it was a door, but it was almost as if it was the door from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was small. Y'all better catch this. I hope y'all catching this. Literally, I was creating doors that were too small. And so, although some people were able to move through it and receive some type of something from it and see some success of it, most people could not, because it was too small. And it was too small because I had been creating from what I saw somebody else create, not from who told me to create the door. Y'all better. Oh, I hope y'all ready. This will be a year where you no longer make doors that are too small for people to walk through. This is the year that you will no longer make doors that are too small for you to walk through yourself. This is the year that you start to make castle doors. Ah, come on. Y'all remember the door of the castle, the drawbridge that come down. This is the year that you start making doors of a magnitude that is greater than what you could ever do on your own and with your own two hands. This is the year that you go and you create doors that multitudes will go through. This is your year. But it starts with you. It starts with you taking inventory of whose hallway are you standing in? Oh, see, this is the thing. When you're standing in the right hallway, there is accountability. Somebody say accountability, y'all. When you are standing in the right hallway, there is accountability. And accountability will not allow you to sleep and slumber in a space that is not meant for you. Accountability will put some fire to your behind. Accountability. So whose hallway are you standing in? Because if you're standing in the wrong hallway, you're maybe standing in the hallway of someone who is not holding you accountable. Are you standing in the hallway of someone who cares about where you're going? See, this is the thing. And some of y'all paid to be in the hallway that you're standing in right now. And oh my goodness, you need to take inventory. What is happening in the hallway you're in? This is no longer an opportunity for you to be blind in what it is that you're doing, blind in where you're spending your money, blind in where you're spending your time. Whose hallway are you standing in this morning? Whose hallway are you standing in? See, I stopped standing in the hallway of other people because God is not like man. Woo, you better catch it. God is not like man. And so I stopped standing in the hallway of other people and I started standing in the hallway of God. And when I started standing in the hallway in God, that's the prayer that I said in 2018. And so when I said the prayer in 2018, now I stepped into a hallway where if a door is closed, I know it was not meant for me. But I'm also standing in a hallway of provision. Ah, I'm standing in a hallway of grace. I'm standing in a hallway of peace. I'm standing in a hallway of joy. I'm standing in a hallway of, listen, prosperity. I'm standing in a hallway that most people don't know what that looks like because they've chosen to stand in the hallway of someone that will not hold them accountable, somebody that can't give them things that God can give them. And so we've stood in a hallway and then we can't understand why the doors are closing. We can't understand why the doors are closing. We can't understand why opportunities are going away. You got to be in this headspace. And it's so interesting because I always, everybody was sending me messages about different people. Somebody that's closing some of his businesses down, and I went into prayer, and I went into prayer because I know, wow, that's a season of closing, but where are you standing? And I pray that they are going to be completely fine. They are going to be okay. Why? Because guess what, but it's, where are you standing? Who are you standing with? Who is your counsel? This Who are you talking to on a consistent basis? I literally said something to somebody yesterday, and I said, thank you for coming to me with your question, because there's something you saw in me that made you feel comfortable enough. There's something, if you don't even have somebody that you can go and ask a question to, then you in the wrong hallway. If you don't have somebody that can pray you through, you're in the wrong hallway. Listen, if you don't have people that will get on their knees and pray and cover you, you are in the wrong hallway. You want to know how I know I'm in the right hallway? Literally, I think it was like the second or third day of the summit. Yes, the summit is still going on every day. If you haven't registered, I don't know what you're waiting on. That part. Literally, like the second or third day of the summit, she went into the group and she said a prayer over me, over the speakers, over the summit, over the attendees. Why? Because I am in the right hallway. Did I have to ask her to go and pray? I did not. Whose hallway are you standing in? Whose hallway are you standing in? Who is standing with you in the hallway? Come on. Because when you have the right people standing with you in the hallway, then moments like that will happen. And so she went and she prayed. And everybody might not have saw the prayer. Everybody might not have listened to the prayer. But this is the thing, is that when you are in the right hallway, you will have the people that will line up and they will speak a word over you. I have people who send me prayers in my inbox and to my phone every day. I have people who pray over me. I have people who send me messages and scriptures to study every day. I have people who are older than me by years who send me things every day. Why? Because I'm standing in the right hallway. I'm standing in the right hallway. What hallway are you standing in? Because this is the thing, you'll have some people who will stand in the hallway with somebody because they want that notoriety. You'll have somebody who's standing in the hallway with somebody because they want to be connected to somebody's name, or they want the following, right? We want the followers, we want the engagement, we want the hearts, we want the likes, we want people talking about us. We want to be able to post up for the gram with pictures with certain people. And so literally we go and we stay connected to people that we don't need to be connected to. And so we're in hallways for the wrong reason. with the wrong people, and then we don't see progress. But get this, not everybody is in the hallway because of their own choosing. Mm. Sometimes the hallway was a place for you to learn some things. Sometimes the hallway was a place for you to grab a hold. It's so interesting. God always brings stuff back to my remembrance. And God, Basha. Whew. Um, he always brings stuff back to my remembrance. And for years, I was not able to get a job. For those of you that know my story, in 2015, December 31st, I became evicted with my children, from a house that I was in, but it was a house that was falling apart. It was a house that I was renting. But what are you doing? What's in your hallway? That's my question for you this morning. Because I remember where God, literally, we had big poster boards. And y'all know how people go and they design their homes and they got all these beautiful pictures and they got all these beautiful things. And so we had poster boards on the wall, and there were scriptures on the poster boards. And it wasn't pretty writing. My handwriting is horrible. But one of those scriptures is one that stood out for me and my children the most, and it's Psalms 34:4. God met me more than halfway. He freed me from my anxious fears. And I've always been able to go back and rely on that, because we would literally, God met me more than He freed me from my anxious fears. Psalms 34:4. Psalms 34:4. In the message. Yeah, don't judge me. I turn everything into a song. Mind your business. But it was one of the ways that we memorized that scripture, and that scripture was very deliberate. Unbeknownst to me, that scripture was very deliberate. And it was in our hallway, and it was and it was interesting because, like I said, the house was really small. It literally, like, the stairwell was very small. The hallway was very small. So, like, you could barely get two people walking down the hallway at one time. And I think about that scripture because I just, it's interesting. I say, what's in your hallway? Like, what do you have in your hallway that's preparing you for greater? So what do you have in your hallway right now that's preparing you for greater? And so that was in my hallway, and it was preparing me for greater, because it was interesting that we left that house. I went through a whirlwind of things, but it was after I left that house that on January 1st, I was upgraded to first class. It was after I left that house, because I had been so conditioned to staying, at least we got a home. At least we got a roof over our head. See, some of you've stayed in the hallway. It was there for a moment in time, but you've stayed in the hallway because you're saying, at least I'm in a hallway. I don't know if y'all caught that. Some of you are standing in a hallway that you're not supposed to be in, and you're saying to yourself right now, well, at least I have a hallway to stand in. And when we look at Psalms 34:4, God met me more than halfway. If I take one step, God can meet me at that one step. No matter if it's a big step or a little step, God can meet me. And so if you would step out of that hallway, God will meet you there wherever you go. Y'all better, I don't even know if y'all caught that. If you take a step, God will meet you wherever you go. And so every time that I've gotten a little nervous about where I am when it comes to the hallway that I'm standing in, God said, I will meet you. And so if I take a step, even if it's a step in fear, come on. Even if it's a step in fear, God said, I'll take you and I'll meet you there. Don't think that you're taking this step by yourself. Don't think that you're taking this step alone. And so literally he goes and he meets you at that space. And the interesting part is that we're so nervous to get out of the hallway that we're in that we can't meet up with him where we're supposed to be. And so sometimes the reason why we have been, and I don't want to say failing, but the reason we have not been productive in creating a door in the hallway we're in is because that's not our hallway. It's not our hallway. It's not the one we're supposed to be in. And so there's another hallway for us. So you just got to take that step. Repositioning your mind for success means that I have to stop relying on what I see and start relying on what I've been told. I got to stop relying on what I see and start relying on what I study. Because if I don't rely on, and if I'm not studying, then what will happen is I will rely on what I see as pure truth. That's not how faith works. And so when I get back to relying on what I studied, that scripture leaps in my spirit because that's something that I studied for years because it was on the wall in our hallway. God met me more than halfway. He freed me from my anxious fears. Psalms 34:4 in the Message. What do you have in your hallway? Some of you have Psalms 91 open on your mantle or on your coffee table, but you have not read it. When was the last time you went and actually read the scripture you have over your coffee table, or the scripture you have hanging up on your wall? Or when was the last time you went and read, the scripture that you have over your children's door? Or do you have a scripture on your children's door? When was the last time you went and read that and studied it until it became like nourishment? Until it became like nourishment deep on the inside of you, until it became so engrounded within you that it comes up and rushes up out of you like a babbling brook. How many of you have gone and taken that time? I'm gonna tell you the other dangerous thing about being in the hallway, especially a hallway you're not supposed to be in, is because there will be times that when you're in a hallway that is not meant for you, the things on the wall will distract you. I don't know. I don't know if I'm talking good this morning. Come on. Come on. I don't know if I'm talking good this morning. Look, come on. I don't know if I'm talking good. I need you to have this understanding. Sometimes you are in the wrong hall, and being in the wrong hall will literally distract you. And so the reason you haven't achieved the things on your vision board for 2019, and the reason you didn't achieve the things on your vision board from 2018 was because you were standing in a hallway that distracted you from what you were supposed to be doing. See, this is the thing. This is going to hurt. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There are far too many of us standing in the hallway of busy instead of being in the hallway of productive. That part. I had to learn that lesson the hard way. It's far too many of us standing in the hallway of busy and not in the hallway of productive. And so when we're in the hallway of busy makes us do things and start things that are not meant for us to be doing. Productive means I'm making an impact with the things that I'm doing. See, if I'm just stuck in the space of busy, the space of busy goes and spends time and hours and hours and hours on social media. But the Productive is I'm going because I have something in my mind, and God, I don't know who is going to come through. Maybe somebody will share something or something will happen. Listen, I've been woken up out of my sleep. Y'all know I just told y'all this last week. Woken up out of my sleep and somebody went live and I went on their live and it was exactly what I needed. That's because I'm in the right hallway. That's because I'm in the right hallway. Sometimes we're not in the hall. Listen, that hallway is a hallway where we're comfortable sometimes. It's a hallway where we're comfortable. So is this just the hallway where you're comfortable? Mm. Is this just the hallway where you're comfortable at the moment? Is this the hallway where literally you're saying, no, it's just gonna be too hard for me to go and do X, Y, and Z. It's just gonna be too much. I got too much I gotta add. It's too much to do. Is that why you've stuck in this hallway? I don't know if y'all done told a couple people about this one this morning. I don't know if y'all done told a few folk, but somebody needed to hear this. Come on. Come on. Study to show yourself approved. Come on. And I had to get back to that. And in the hallway I was in at the moment, that wasn't that wasn't the mindset. See, this is the thing. When I moved into a different hallway, and scriptures would be sent to me. I moved into a different hallway and prayers were being sent to me. Messages were being sent to me. I would show up in the right places. See, this is part of the reason why we did the purge starting in January, is because when I did the purge, I removed places and hallways where I did not need to be. And so now when I show up in places, I'm showing up in places where words are being literally poured over me. And it's words of empowerment, it's words of encouragement, it's words of, listen, even when I need to be reprimanded, it is words of reprimanding, it is accountability, it is words that are pushing me forward, not keeping me stagnant. And so I studied more. And so I went into the word more. And I started learning more. I started praying more. I started getting back to that space of deciding that I'm going to be in the hallway that's meant for me. And even in my hallway, when a door closes, I got to look and say, that's okay. Oh my goodness, God has got so much more in store. I don't know if y'all follow Michael Todd, but I was listening to his message from this weekend. They did a grand reopening of Transformation Church. And one of the things that he talked about that really touched me was he talked about how in year two, um, they had made some adjustments. Because I need y'all to understand that this is not just, it's not an easy transition at times. And there will be times where people walk away. There will be times where it's not going to feel all cute and cuddly. And so he talked about how in year two, they had a shift and they had people go and really shift, because he wanted people to be known and seen. When people came in, that they knew you were an usher for transformation and they could ask you questions. So he had them wearing these orange shirts. And so they were a church when he first got there that were literally where you had to wear a suit in order to minister. You had to wear a suit when you came to church, things of that nature. And he said in year two, a whole bunch of people left because they had to wear orange shirt and because they had a minister that didn't wear suits. And for some of you right now, you may be thinking, well, that's minuscule. That's not really a reason that you leave church, but it really was. I'm going to give you something that's going to help you right now. You don't get to determine why somebody walks away. You don't. But if you think that that closed door was the end of your journey, then you'll be frustrated and you won't go any further than where you are right now. That was in year 2. They're in year 5. Last year, they just moved into Citizens Bank Stadium, somebody stadium, whatever, in September. This year, it's paid off in full. So if that happened in year 2 and he would have just stopped and been frustrated, he wouldn't have got here to year 5. See, some of us are in that year 2 period, and it hurts, it's frustrating. But even if it's not a year 2 for you, it's still that moment of closed doors. Don't get weary in well doing. There is somebody that needs whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. And so don't get weary. Just say, God met me more than halfway. He freed me from my anxious fears. So God, I'm going to take a step and you let me know what hallway I need to be in. I'm going to take a step and you just guide me the rest of the way, God. And that one conversation can shift so much. Just that one conversation. Come on. Exactly. It goes back to that seed time and harvest. But understand, the harvest is going to be so great. Oh, I can't tell you enough how much the harvest is going to be so great that you will not have room enough to receive it. I literally have people who are connecting with me from all over the world. I'm like sitting here, my phone keeps like blowing up on me, and who are coming and doing guest blog posts, who are coming and being guests on the podcast. And you never know who I connect with. I love that piece about my job, about what I do as for a living, is that I always connect with different people. And man, I'm just looking at some people doing some phenomenal things that other people have not heard about yet, that you may not even know. It's interesting because we look for a certain thing when somebody is a 6-figure or somebody's making 7 figures, and a good portion of the people that have been on my podcast have been 6 and 7-figure earning entrepreneurs. But they're not ones where you're going to walk up to them and you're going to see something different. You're going to have a difference in conversation with them, though. That's one of the things I love. They're going to have a different conversation, most of. And you get to that point where you say, I'm not going to be boastful. I'm going to learn what I need to learn, and I'm going to grow. Let's go. We need to learn what we need to learn and grow. So this is our moment where we come out of that hallway that it's not meant for us. This is that moment where we take whatever we need to do and we shift it and we move to a whole nother level. That part. So I'm appreciative. I love you guys so much. I'm so excited. Thank you for all of you that have been so supportive in everything that's been going on. Thank you for everybody that's registered for the summit. bit.ly/WVL Summit 20, all uppercase. It's free and it is still going on. It is all month long. Man, they have been rocking and rolling. When I tell you, these messages have been really on point. And if you missed the failure files panel discussion, the mental health panel discussion, both those panel discussions are still in the room, in the Zoom room, in the Facebook group. Make sure that you go and check them out if you've already registered. If not, go to the group. It's second annual World Voice Summit. Go to the group and put in your email, and we will give you access into the group for you to be able to see the emails and see the messages live, or be able to catch them, the replays, for a short limited amount of time before we go ahead and take them out. And then also, if you haven't done so already, you can register to get the replays. Right now, replays are only $47, but that is only for a limited time. So they're only for $47 to be able to catch all the replays from day one, because they've already been started to be pulled and put into archive. So that way you guys can have access to them. I'm excited. I know you are excited. We got great things coming. This is reposition for success. Come on. I'm excited about where we are going with the series. Man, we still got a couple more days this week, so I hope you guys will tune in. With that being said, I appreciate you. I am Altavius Poser, your voice manager. And until next time, don't forget to press it out. See ya.